We're about to light the third candle of Chanukah, and I thought maybe I'd give you a little historical information about the holiday. Most of us know a story, and the story is about the cruise of oil that should have lasted one day, but it lasted 8. Well, let's go a little deeper into the history. The history is that in the period before the Common Era, in about the year 167 BCE, the Hashmoneans, led by Judah the Maccabee, you know that name, Maccabee meaning the hammer, that was a sign of his might. Judah the Maccabee, the head of this Hashmonean group of rebels, tried to restore Jerusalem and succeeded in restoring Judea and Jerusalem to the Jewish people because it had been invaded and ruled by the Hellenic Assyrians. The Assyrian Hellenic, meaning the Greek culture, was pervasive in the land, and what they were trying to do was outlaw Jewish practice. So think about how many times that's happened in different periods of history, in different cultures and countries in the world. This is one of our pivotal stories. So Judah the Maccabee, in a war that lasted about 3 years, was able to not only kick the Syrian Hellenists out in battle, which they did, they removed them from the land, but they were able then to create Chanukah. And what does the word mean? It means dedication. They were able to rededicate the temple on the mountain in Jerusalem. Many of you have been at the foot of that, next to in the Western Wall Plaza, looking at the retaining wall above which stood that temple. So how do we come to the menorah? Well, the menorah that was lit, one of the things that said is that Judah the Maccabee, in the histories, in the book of Maccabees that you can read, which, by the way, isn't part of our traditional canon, the Torah. And what you find is that Judah the Maccabee restored the light. He lit the 7-branched menorah. Now, those of you who are lighting a Chanukiah, look at it tonight. You'll see it's not 7 branches, it's 8. So the Chanukiah, the menorah of Chanukah, differs from the traditional menorah that was lit in the temple. The temple, you can find many understandings of what that menorah stood for, but ask yourself what light means to you, what it means in religious terms, and why light might have been a symbol in those times in their sacred places, particularly the temple, and why we have a Ner Tamid, a holy sacred light that is constantly on, an enduring light in every synagogue. So what happened was he created out of the holiday an 8-day celebration, perhaps, as we know, because it's recognizing that that cruise of oil, that small amount of oil, that small container lasted 8 days. Historically, probably more accurately, because it was a substitute for the Jewish people not having been able to celebrate the 8-day holiday of Sukkot that preceded, but because of wartime was not celebrated. I hope this gives you a little insight, and I wish you a Chag Urim Sameach, which means a holiday of lights that's joyous, or a Chag Sameach, simply a happy holiday. Happy Hanukkah to all of you.